Welcome back to the exciting climax of this Kings of War tournament report for Chill of the Winterlands, a 3-game, 2,300 point tournament in the West Midlands. Here in the lovely United Kingdom last month, I have drawn the first game against Alistair, so I am playing Kingdoms of Men. If you wish to see my list, please revisit the first video in this series. So I have drawn the first game against Alistair with his very, very shooty elves. And then I have won very well in the second game against Jed with his Kingdoms of Men and a man off. I'm the most manly man, largely because he chose to charge 2 hordes into a troop and then double won it. It's a thing. So we're to game 3, and game 3 is something of a corker, I'm going to tell you. So I am up against a young man named Dan. With his Dwarfs. Dan is more famous for only playing one other tournament this year, and the other tournament that he played was Clash of Kings, which he won. So Clash of Kings being the largest Kings of War tournament that's ever been run, and he beat all 6 of his opponents to win the entire thing. And in this tournament, his second tournament of the year, he's chosen to mix things up by playing exactly the same list he took to Clash of Kings. And I said, what are you doing, Dan? He's like, well, the thing was I forgot I was going to this tournament, and then at the last minute saw I had to submit a list, and I thought, well, this one seems to work. I'll go with that. Fair enough then. So this is the Clash of Kings winning list. So it's been largely declared as so nondescript. So nondescript that someone else took the same list to Warfare and won with it there. So clearly it's rubbish, right? Not taking anything away from Dan. That was also another very good player. So Daniel's actually one of my more frequent opponents because he lives close to me. And I've never beaten him yet. So he has 3 regiments and a horde of ironclad. Basic dwarf infantry, but they are defense 5, and they come with throwing mastiffs, headstrong, and ordered march, which is very good. So throwing mastiffs is once per game, 8 attacks, always hits on a 4 pierce 1. Ordered march being you can go at the double and turn once. There are 14-16, which is decent nerve. He's got and the horde 21-23, of course. So shield breakers, he's got 2 regiments of those. These are the melee 3 crush 2 for no reason. Infantry version of ironclad, but they are defense 4, slightly weaker because they've got 2-handed weapons. A single flame belcher, which I think is a great weapon. Ranged 4+ with a 14-inch, 15 attacks. 15 attacks. Okay, there's no piercing, but that's very good with shattering as well for 90 points. It's gross. You don't see more flame belchers. I don't know why. Double steel behemoth. What's galling about this? Those are my models that I gave him. Not mine anymore. They're his now. One of which is Gollock's Fury. So Gollock's Fury giving it the aura of Iron Resolve and very inspiring. And Gollock's Gun, which loses steady aim, but does gain 6 inches of range, 2 attacks, and goes from piercing 1 to piercing 2, which is very good. Otherwise, they both hit on 4s, defense 6. Ludicrous nerve. Dragon nerve. He's got a Dwarf Lord with the Wings of Honey Maze. Yep, for defense 5, but he's only crushed 5 attacks, but he's still annoying. And then my 2 least favourite characters in the game, because they never die, Garrick Heavy Hand and Faber Ironheart. They just have all the flipping rules. So Garrick particularly is so annoying for being crush 3. He's very slow at speed 4, but he is just totally unkillable. He's inspiring, he's mighty, he's got Radiance to Life and Regen. And Regen on a defense 6 character is really hard to deal with. Faber Ironheart is the large infantry version who shoots. 7 attacks. He's faster at speed 5. Still defense 6 though. Melee 3, crush 2. Wild charge D3. So an unusually speedy dwarf is Mr. Ironheart rather. And then, speaking of speedy dwarves, double dwarf lord on large beast. These guys are defense 6. They're crush 1, thunder 2. They're nimble. They're height 4. They're jolly good. So a very rounded, very balanced list. Everything in it is hard to kill. And now they have command dice. They have the Rock and Stone order. Magical resistance I don't see being used very much. The Spell Ward till the end of the turn. Just don't see it. Rock and Stone, though, giving Vengeance to every unit, giving them Crush 1 on the counter charge. Unless they're already Crush 1. Oh, no, that's right. So, yeah, okay. So Crush +1 on the counter charge. Okay. Dwarves. So we are playing the Salt the Earth scenario. So let's quickly go through the terrain. This is a hill. This is a hill. They're both height 3. Blocking terrain height 9. Woods height 9. This is, I think we said flat terrain, or what's it called? Not obstacles. You fool. Rough terrain. And then 2 walls, height 2, right? So Salt the Earth is like Pillage, except from turn 1, you can burn tokens. Get rid of them off the table means you can't score them, but it doesn't mean they're gone. Apart from this one in the middle, you will see we changed the colour of this one to remind ourselves. So you can see that a little lopsided table. So we started with these 2, right? And then Dan started to put them down the middle. And then I realised that I'm in trouble. I think I can't remember anyway what. 1 here. Anyway, it ended up with 3 on that side, which is very strong for that side. So I basically hoped that I got that side. And didn't. So great start against the old Clash of Kings winner there. So there's a token under this unit of Ironclad. There's a token here. Token here. There's the 2 here. This one cannot be burnt. In the middle. And 1 solitary token back here. So how has Daniel deployed? So this is a Dwarf Lord and Large Beast. Mr. Ironheart here. And this is an Ironclad. You can tell. I always mock Daniel. I'll never know which of his dwarves are which, but I'll be kind. Celebrity Groin. It's Dan's Groin. This is Shield Breakers. This is his Flying Dwarf King, the old gyrocopter there. This is an Ironclad. These dice are for the Throwing Mastiffs, right? And they've got Throwing Mastiffs. And really, my strategy against Throwing Mastiffs is you just got to make them waste them 1 by 1. If they focus fire, Throwing Mastiffs will just take off a unit, hands down. So you need to space them out. Anyway, that's my strategy. Is what I'm going to try to do. So Ironclad, 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 Shield Breaker, Shield Breaker. Bringing up the rear as you would. This is the Flame Belcher, obviously. Which one is Golluck's Fury? Yeah, both really look the same, don't they? I think this one, the purple one, is Golluck's Fury. This is the normal thing. And there's the other Dwarf Lord on Large Beast there on the side. So he's kind of a little bit deny flank, right? So it's a little bit, he's having this lot because he just wants these 3, right? He just needs 1 more to win. Just 1 more. Bad time. So off we go. So against that, so against these kind of like guys, so Faber and the Dwarf Lord, I've pitted Heroes of the Hour. It's the Outlaws. That's right. 2 troops of defense 3 archers with no piercing, and the Brigand against 2 defense 6 characters. Spectacular work. I'm not that stupid. We have got 3 bolt throwers, ballistas, all of which can see like this as soon as they come in. And I've got my general here as well. And then I've got, these are the foot guard, my foot guard horde. I think they have Brew of Strength. No, they don't. They just, yes, they do. They do have Brew of Strength. Spear Phalanx, Spear Phalanx, Spear Phalanx. They're ensnaring and Phalanx. So Phalanx doesn't matter in this game because nothing's really mounted. But ensnare sure does. Here's my giant. He's finally got something to do. This is my captain. First edition Mikhail there. My wizard here has Bane Chant, and he also has Veil of Shadows, which is relatively useful in this game. And I've gone for a really fast flank. So against nothing, so this 1 Dwarf Lord, I've gone with a Spear Phalanx, my Beast, what they call Beast Cavalry, and my other general, right? So Beast Cavalry with Boots of Striding. So the plan, as you might imagine, as we skip into turn 1, which I win amazingly. Let's get us to the board. Right, here's the plan. I'm going to scoot forward as possible, as fast as possible. So I've got a lot of space here, right, to come in because I need to get my horde in here. This is a really punchy horde. This general, I want to come down this way. The Outlaws are just really a holding action against these guys where we've kind of come through here. The plan is this is kind of anvil, hammer, Right, so all these hammers, the plan is for them to come round, try and catch one of these long chariot bases in the side. Use the giant's strength against one of these behemoths to take it out. And the bolt thrower, so the bolt throwers against these guys, actually they're going to be peppering a behemoth most of the game is the plan. That was my plan. If we can scoot forward and claim the centre, I am a lot faster, which is weird for me because they are dwarves. Then I can kind of claim these 4. And I win first turn, and that's my command dice roll. 1. Good job. So because I got first turn, I got a nice little positioning from my General Winged Beast here. So he can't be seen by Faber. He can be seen by this. Oh, maybe he can't. I think he can be seen, but it can't charge me. So it's going to have to make do with shooting me with cover or throwing some dogs at me, which I'm okay with. This general really scoots far up the side. There was enough positioning here, so this guy can't see him, which is good for me. And that is bolt throwers. So that's 4 wounds onto a behemoth, which is great. That's me showing that I used Veil of Shadows. And into Dan's. Oh, was there anything? No, that was it. It's Dan's turn 1. So he just he sees my plan and says, right, I'll take your outlaws on with my massive defense 6 guys. They move forward as fast as they can. These guys are happy to sit on this token for the entire game. These guys turn. So obviously what he doesn't want is the general to jump over the back, right? So he's placed some really nice cover. So he's regained a wound with a command dice here from his behemoth. The Flame Belcher is hiding behind, so if I do jump over, I'm going to get Flame Belched. Shield Breakers can't be seen. These guys are going to probably throw a dog at me. And this Behemoth's going to shoot me. And on the other side, everything just moves forwards. He's again, so we've got my General is down here, so Dan's, he's no fool. So he's got a regiment protecting the side here. He's saying you can charge this guy in the front if you want, you will die, and then you'll get eaten by these guys anyway, so. There you go, and that's the behemoth and throwing dog. So only 4 wounds, which is, a mercy because that, you can be wavered. And I make a mistake here. I think I can at this point burn. I should have burnt this token. I think there's so much stuff coming around. There's no guarantee I can get this token, so I should have really burnt it turn 1 as soon as I landed on it. Instead, I didn't. So there you go. Boo-hoo me. Into my turn 2. This is how we look on turn 2. So I'm not that bad at positioning. Really should have got rid of this. This one, not so sure about, but yeah, I think at this point I can't really hold this with this, right? It'd be better just punch through and try and game these ones, but I roll slightly better on command dice. 3 command dice this time, so I find a hole, which is great. I am going to get dogged maybe by these guys, but I think he can survive 1 dogging. So positioning wise, dwarves are slow. This is good. We push up very hard, so melee 4 across the board. Not actually very scared, particularly for this horde, which is phalanx and massive nerve. So I'm really very warmed to this sort of deployment. If you've got a monster, a horde, and a regiment, then positioning like this is very tasty. Because it means that the horde can get charged by a couple of things, nothing else really can. Which means that even if the horde dies, you've got more than one option. So I really like that. These guys have pushed forward a lot more. So now the beast cavalry are looking in. Over here, the outlaws go, well, we're brave young chaps. So we sacrifice 1 outlaw to these guys. I actually push him too far. I very much meant this to be a front. As you can clearly see, it's a flank. Whoops. And we shoot. And I think ballista goes in there as well. We put 2, and then I look at my general was here, right? That's not a great place to be. There's just not many fun places he can go. If he goes over there, he's going to be facing the wrong way, and that's okay. But there's enough shooting here that would be painful for him. I just don't, and with Garrick heavy hand hanging around, it's just not wise. What I really want to do is start chipping wounds on this horde. So I think, you know what? Have a general in the flank. Have a general in the flank. It's 14 attacks on the 3s and 2s. So what? How's that going to be? 8 wounds? It's a good start, even with Radiance in there. For me to start hammering away. I heal the wound off him. I Veil of Shadows again in case he wants to shoot things over here. Yeah, so I roll terribly. So at least they're not going to use their dogs, but that's 4 wounds, which is not great. The only thing you can charge me is Garrick. And the Horde, of course, in counter charge. But yeah, 4 wounds is disappointing. And I burn that token at the back because I can't hold that. I just can't hold it. So yeah, he uses Vengeance. There's some command dice, so he's getting Crush 1 on that Horde against my general. I think he sent in his Flying King as well, and the Gyrocopter there, which is good. I'm happy that he's kind of finagling that around his lines rather than rumming around the back of my lines. These guys kind of just position strategically, so he does some math as you do, and he's worked out actually a flank from this guy. 14 on 3s and 2s probably won't kill him, and even if it does, it's better than being flanked by Beast Cavalry, which is the other option. So flank here, protection still here, and he's got a Flame Belcher as well. So he's got lots of options there. These guys, so Garrick just runs up on the hill because Garrick's not scared of anything. He takes the flank that I didn't mean to give him with that Dwarf Lord. And this regiment kind of comes up as bait on the hill to say, go on then, charge me, because I've got a Behemoth and a Shield Breaker regiment behind me, and I've got Favour. Do what you will. And then the Behemoth shoots so this is, whatever it's called, Golluck's Fury. Shoots at my Beast Cavalry, does 4 wounds, which is nasty. The other one shoots at this Horn, does 3 wounds, equally nasty. That's a dead Outlaws. For once, the Outlaws did not survive an attack by a superior unit, and there was bits of mutilated Outlaws hanging from the very trees. Some more shooting there. I don't know, maybe what that was. What was that? Why is there so much shooting? Dogs. So dogs here went on something. That might have been dogs, and that might have been shooting. I'm going to say. Whatever happened, it hurt. And my general unfortunately died to the combination of attacks from this king and this Horde. Sad times for me. Hello, they say, turning around. Now we're going to throw our dogs at you. I mean, one thing I have succeeded in here, although we're in, we are quite aggressive, which is good, but Dan's in a very good defensive position. I have made him sporadically waste his dogs on different units. So that was my stated goal. Achieved it. Happy with that. Into turn 3 we go. So we've got 1 unit with dogs left, and that's going to get charged. This general and my Dracons are going to look very tasty to charge against this king. Plus we've got backup here. We've got a lot of options, basically. We've held off these guys. What we don't have a lot of are tokens. This token is now kind of a little bit out of my reach for the time being. So yeah, into my turn 3. So I take that charge. I do some numbers in my head, and I think I can have you. I can have you. And then these guys hit quite hard. These guys do not hit hard, so I'm not afraid of a hindered front charge from them. So at least one of my units is going to survive. I take my big Horde into Golluck, stop him shooting. My little regiment, and I use command dice to give it melee 3 into the Horde that has a massive 3 wounds on it, thanks to Radiance. I take my giant into the other Behemoth, and which allows my Horde of Foot Guard to come into this regiment. And I place the captain here. So the reason he's here is because he's pretty durable, but essentially I don't want my giant being flanked by shield breakers. That would be bad. You're going to have to try and kill my captain first, and I think I can survive it. I think it's going to be a Bane Chunk when he's coming this way without command dice. Over here, we back off. Oh, this guy's dead, obviously. I still have my ballista, so the ballistas are now focusing solely on this guy along with the outlaws. Just try and do as much damage as possible, and wouldn't you know it, outlaws! Outlaws are the best. Outlaws are the best. Sorry, calm down. I love the outlaws. 6 wounds onto his Dwarf Lord, a large beast, and we waver him. But of course, he does have Headstrong, so let's see what happens there. Yes, so we've already shown you. I'm very excited to use my command dice, clearly. That's pretty disastrous, isn't it? That's very, very annoying. So yeah, 18 in the front on 3s and 4s with Vicious. 14 in the flank on 4s and 2s. 4s and 3s with Vicious. No Vicious, sorry, 4s and 3s. 3s and 3s, God. I got 12 wounds. I can't be bothered to do the maths. Maybe one of you can do the maths and tell me what I should have scored. If it was 12, then I look stupid. He's only 15, 17, so I needed a 5 to take him off. I did not roll a 5. I clearly rolled a 3 or a 4. He is also wavered. He also has headstrong, but it's kind of irrelevant because now my guy is going to get flanked by shield breakers, and my horde is going to get flanked by these guys, hindered. So that's not fun. So yeah, my big horde of phalanx spearmen with probably no bane chant. Looks like I failed it. 3 wounds on the Golok's Fury. At least he's not shooting. Another spectacular turn there. So these guys, even with melee 3, only did 2 wounds onto that horde. Which is disappointing, isn't it? The giant rolling 2d6 because he's a big boy. Is it 2d6 against Golok's Fury? Is it a monster or a chariot? Is it a chariot? I don't get nothing. Anyway, he does 8 wounds, which is lovely. And we rolled a lucky waver. So he's a 17, 19, so I must have rolled a 9, maybe? So that was lucky, wasn't it? But he's got headstrong too. I think, probably, usually. I'm guessing. Yeah, so he does in fact roll the headstrong on that, and it just disappears. There's Dan's thumb up. Yeah. And there's my double 1. Oh no, it wasn't I remember now. It's a thumb up because we miscalculated. We weren't good at maths. We did all the numbers, and it wasn't. Anyway, it wasn't. I didn't roll a 9. I don't know what I rolled. Forget it. Whatever happened, he's not wavered. He's fine. So over the horde, I do 10 wounds to this tiny regiment with my shield, with my foot guard, which I think isn't that much. These guys are normal ironclad, right? I'm only crush 1. 25 attacks on 3s and 4s. Guys, you all know that I'm not very good at maths. It was maybe 8, 16, 28, 16, maybe 16, 17 hits, 16 hits, let's say. And then 4s, 8. Well, I did very well. I did 10 wounds. Well done me. Anyway, then I double 1'd it. So, poo. Not that worried. Into Dan's turn 3. And by the way, I have friends who literally send me critiques of my mathematics after these battle reports. Thank you for that. Please continue. It makes me feel great. So, this is the state of the board. Not great. I have managed to push towards the tokens, which is good. So this one is feeling quite secure. Not so secure. So we didn't kill this, and they're fine. I mean, Faber can join in, maybe. I'm going to take a shield break onto my captain. He can't flank here with the iron thing, wherever it's Steel Behemoth, so he's going to have to countercharge in the front of the Giants. The Giants should survive that. This Phalanx, so it's on 5, should survive that. Phalanx, Ensnare, so on 5, so again should survive that. This is a nightmare. Like, this is very, very bad. So, he does not roll his headstrong, which is very, very sad for him. But he does take the double flank there. So that's bad. There's 3 command dice here. 3. 3 is a weird number to put down. What does 3 give you? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. They've gone from 5. 5 was what they had. They haven't lost any wounds. Maybe it's 4 and the other one's hiding somewhere. So maybe 4 for the crush one. Let's say it's that. Shield breakers go into the captain. The behemoth goes into my giant. And he doesn't roll the headstrong there. So double headstrong fail this turn. You only need to roll a 3+, so that's 2 1s and 2s he's rolled. That's unfortunate. And Garrick joins in on the giant because why not, you little git. Flame Belcher turns around. I think he's... What's he shooting at? Don't know. Nothing. And that is countercharge, I guess? Oh, it's countercharge for only 3 wounds, is what we're saying. Ah, well, that is poor. That is poor. That is, what, Radiance? Radiance down? Radiance that we're showing? Yep, 3 wounds. Okay. Oof. Giant takes 10 wounds from that Behemoth and Garrick. That's a lot of wounds, but he's okay. No, he's not. He's wavered. That's okay. He's got Fury. However, the captain, good old captain, only 4 wounds. Very, very survivable. Love the captain as a chaff piece. 4 wounds there, so yep, Ensnare does its bit, which is great. 4 wounds there, Ensnare does its bit. Ooh, yeah. So unfortunately, hitting on 5s, even with 24 attacks, 5s and 5s. 10 wounds, I'm going to say. It had some wounds already, didn't it? Because it was shot at. Got 4 wounds already, so maybe 6 wounds it took. I can't find it now, but yeah, I think it was 4. So it took 6 wounds from that flank, which is, probably there or thereabouts, I don't really know. And a waiver, but we've got Indomitable Will! Hurrah! And even better, that flank, I mean, I just feel that should be more. I think that's 24 attacks on 3s and 3s. I feel that should be more. So that was very poor rolling in a way that he doesn't have Indomitable Will. So he's definitely going to die. Into my turn 4. Oh, it's very tense, isn't it? I was there. And I've run through these beforehand to make sure I knew what I was doing. But it feels very tense. So this token is free. Back here, no one's anywhere near it. Not sure how I'm going to get to it. Oh, hang on a minute. This is not a building. This is my unit. Stop putting buildings on your bases. So, yeah, I can just get on that quite easily with that unit. That's great. This token, I feel I've got a strong base to cover. There, this token is a problem because Faber Ironheart's sitting on it. He's very indomitable. We've got a token here, and there's a token here that I completely forget about until turn 5 when we move one of his units, and I go, whoa, is there a token there? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, damn, that's bad. Yeah. So he's got a wavered guy here. Probably going to waver him again, so things are going to start dying. That should die this turn. Will this die that turn? Maybe. That's a question mark. That won't die, but it will take more damage. That won't die, but it will take more damage. This is going to countercharge something, so there may be death. I think we might need to kill this guy, because that's going to need to back up. So yeah, it's very close, very close. We do get a Bane Charm off. Let's go! With my reroll 1 miss. And that's reroll 1 wound, I'm guessing. Look at that. Look at that beautiful space there. I wish you just admire this sleek outline of the outlaws, the remaining outlaws, because there are little bits of outlaws all over the floor here. And the space on the board, where there used to be a Defense 6 Dwarf Lord on Iron Beast. I mean, okay, there was some ballistas that may have had something to do with it. But we all know it was mainly the outlaws. Go outlaws! They killed the Defense 6 Dwarf Lord. That Dwarf Lord also died, so that's superb. So I backed up the this general. And I've turned my Beast Cavalry like this, so that the general is safe. I mean, he's got 10 wounds, so he's going to die soon. He might be able to flame belcher him eventually, probably not this turn. These guys will die to this, but then I'm free to fly at things, right? Oh, there's the token. I really should have seen it was there. So here's some rubbish wounds that I did. Looks like 4. Oh, it looks like the captain has charged the flame belch like the hero that he is. Amazing. So 4 wounds onto Golok. He doesn't really care. We've gone from 4 to 8, so I did 4 wounds on the counter charge here. Brave boys. It's not very good. Nothing happens. And we kill the flame belcher, the captain. Bye-bye. And we kill the steel behemoth with the giant. Oh, let's go! And I sidestep to block off these guys from doing anything untoward. You're going to have to mess with me first and probably kill me. So into Dan's turn 4. So Dan's got fed up of messing around with this guy. And he's particularly these ballista, which, have killed quite significant amounts of things. So in he charges. Faber decides to join the battle rather than hang on a token. Oh, it looks like this regiment died as well. So my foot guard hold killed them, so Faber's going to come and play with them. Yep, so double regiments into my Beast Cavalry, which is sad. Faber decides to stop messing around with giants and start messing around with regiments instead. He's using vengeance. I don't feel this unit's long for this world. And the giant is also not long for this world. So 6 wounds from the shield breakers is enough to get rid of him. Rerolling a wound by the look of it. Look at that. 8 wounds only. Pathetic rolling. Embarrassing, really. What do we go from? 4 to 8. Another 4 wounds from Faber and a horde. Just bad, man. There's a thing. 8 wounds there as well, so they went from 3 to 8, so slightly better from Golluck's Fury. Still not good enough. Yeah, so, well, you know, no big surprise there. Ballista dies. And obviously the Beast Cavalry die as well. So into my turn 5, and scarily I'm thinking about scenario. So I just back these guys up out of charge range because they're very slow. That means next turn I can turn and go this way. I think I back them up. So looking at this, I back them up with full speed. So I use command dice to back up full speed so I can turn next turn and come this way. Command dice, they're great. The general that was here doesn't want to mess with 2 full units. He's just going to die. So we decided this just needs to go. This horde needs to get out of the way. I've survived long enough. Very, very lucky. So general in the flank, captain in the back, regiment in the front. Surely now. And the foot guard horde comes to take all these shield breakers that murdered their friend Dave the giant. Over here, by the way, this regiment's sitting pretty on a token the entire flipping game. Faber's wandered around here, of course, so the outlaws say, all right then, well, we're wandering up here. If you don't want the token, we're going to have it. So, 8 wounds onto the shield breakers and a double 1. Again. Bad times. Even worse. So we do kill the horde. That's good. The horde is dead, and I run the captain forward so his rally affects everything. So that big horde is gone, which is a big relief, because this token is now kind of much more available for me. Unfortunately, we do 10 wounds onto Golluck's Fury, and then we double 1 that as well. So that's my 3rd double 1 of the game. It's fun. Into Dan's turn. So Dan totally fluffs his command dice roll, only 2. And he's looking like this. So let's just take a quick stock of the tokens. There's one here that I'm going to get, probably unchallenged at this point. And there's one in the middle that I'm probably going to get, although 8 wounds isn't nice. And we've got Faber kind of wandering around. So, you know, I'm very, very fragile. 10 wounds here, 8 wounds here, 8 wounds here, right? That's a lot. Only this unit is really functioning. The outlaws are like paper. So that's, you know, risky. There's this one here, which is a fight between a defense 6 character and my 9/11 defense 3 archers. This one back here is Dan's. And this one here, depends on what happens here, right? So it's very much hanging on a knife edge. Especially when he looks at this, thinks, scenario, and charges his king right into the outlaws. That is, I think, I don't know what Faber's doing. He's turning around to shoot here, I think. Cause I know what height is he? Is he height 4? Garrick, where's Garrick gone? Ah, yes, here he is. So Garrick decides to take out my general because he's the most mobile piece. Very sensible. So he charges in. Hindered though. Counter charge here, counter charge here. 2 wounds. Outlaws are okay. We go from 3 to 7. We're also okay. 2 wounds from Garrick onto my general Min Beast, and he's wavered, which is, it's not disastrous, but it is pretty bad. The horde goes up to 13 wounds, still okay. I think Faber missed that regiment if he did shoot them into my turn 6. So turn 6, this is how we're looking. Still on a knife edge, right? So unprecedentedly, everything has survived just with some waivers. So I'm going to get this one tick. I will sit on this one at the beginning of turn 6. By the end of it, couldn't tell you. If I kill these guys, I should be able to turn to take this one as well. Right, so that would be 3 to me. And 1, 2 to Dan. Maybe not 2 if the outlaws survive another turn. 1 to Dan. At the beginning of turn 6. So let's go. Yep, so jump onto that one. Great. Good job. We turn and come onto this one. We use 2 command dice to heal a wound. We counter charge here. And we send the captain in because we just need to. This guy just kind of decided to occupy. Garrick needs, basically Garrick's out of the game because he needs to occupy. He needs to fight this. Otherwise nothing is. And I'm going to fly and get token. Charging here, re-rolling 1 wound, I want to say. Or miss, or hit. Whatever. Wound, maybe. Yep, and the outlaws say, go on then. So I charge my brigand into the flying king to try and slow him down. I bring the outlaws round with the token to contest it. That's just taking a photograph. I think I've just shown you. So, yes, right. Okay, what happens? We kill Golux Fury, which is superb, which means we can use this giant horde to shield against these guys in case this unit gets hit. Plus, we kill the shield breakers here, so we turn here. So I have claimed this token, and that token. 3. The captain is here. He doesn't really block Garrick from doing anything, but I think this is outside of 8. Maybe. And that's just showing you that. And that. So I did 3 wounds onto this guy, but I didn't manage to wave or anything like that, and he is still flying. He's not flying, rather. He's still mobile. He can just run, right? It will be hindered, though. And yeah, so I forgot about the throwing dogs. That's right. The throwing dogs for a defense 3 unit like this are lethal. So he's still within 3 of the token, and he is within 12. I could have measured that. Didn't. So the king decides that he doesn't need to bother with them because he's going to throwing dog them instead. Take out a ballista. Look how knackered my army is. Everything's falling over. Faber, having nothing else to do, decides to charge this horde. They are on 7 wounds. You know, luck be a lady tonight. And look at that. That's me showing how spectacularly bad I am at this game. I am out of rally range. And both regiments looked at my horde and went, do you know what? All right then. We've still got this token right here. We might as well try and take you off for points. I mean, they are both hitting on 6s. Hindered, if the map comes like this. Hindered and ensnared. I'm on 13 wounds though. Garrick charges in again there. What? Oh, he changed his mind. He changed his mind. That's right. He was like, I'm going to attack your thing. He was like, no, actually, I'm not. I'm going to hit the brigand instead. Screw you, brigand. Yeah. So only 4 wounds from the dogs, but it was enough. I'm gone. Interesting. Dan abandoned the token. I think because it was contested, right? So it didn't matter. If he'd have stayed there, he would have definitely had it. Oh, but then I could have charged him. Oh, lots of things to think about. What's more, even on 6s, those guys did take care of my horde, which is, I'm not going to lie, a little bit vexing. And my general dies to Garrick, heavy hand. 10 wounds there, we're still okay. So at this point, I have won the game, right? Because I've got 3 tokens. He hasn't managed to take off the key units. Still alive, and the other one is still alive. 3 to 1. And there's turn 7. So off we crack into turn 7. I was like, I've finally beaten you, Dan. I've got you. Turn 7. So we countercharge him. Nothing else to do. And we look at this. We think, oh, this is bad. So my captain acts as chaff. He would need to kill him and do a spectacular overrun to get into here. We are safe over here. It's fine. That's showing I've got 2 minutes left. Charging again here, so no, I think he did 1 wound. We're going to see who's the bossiest boss. Oh man, oh, it hurts me to see it. It hurts me to see it a lot. I forgot Garrick. Here he is. He's only got a charge range of 8. I didn't need to be here, right? Let's look at where they were. Oh, pain. Oh, painful. I'm like that. I'm facing away. I could have just run on. I could have just run on a few more inches. And then they'd have been out of his range because he's such short range. Look at that. Instead I turned. I think I did it because I was worried these guys would be able to turn and come this way. But the captain could have positioned himself a little bit further across. There's no dogs left. I just needed to run a little bit further, sit on that token, and I would have been fine. I didn't. And Garrick killed them. How many wounds were they on? They were on 7 wounds. He put them up to 9 and then he murdered them. They were a, let's see, 14-16 with rally. So he rolled the 7 twice that he needed. Take him off. He did not kill that horde, and that's the end of the game, which means it ends in a draw. Spectacular. Wow, what a tense game. So just that little bit of measurement, and that's kind of where I do fall down in these games. Just a little bit. I don't notice small things right at the end. So yeah, so whoa. Oh no, what's happened there? That's all the slides. So Dan has got the token up there. and the token over here. I have got this one with this unit, and I've got that one over there. It's a 2-all draw. So I ended the tournament with a win and 2 draws, which spectacularly put me in 4th place, which was very nice. If you're interested, I needed a 1st place finish in this tournament to finish as Best Kingdoms of Men player and qualify for Masters. I did not. So congratulations to Andy Marshall for being Best Kingdoms of Men player. And then he's not going to Masters. Why? Why? However, I will be at Masters commentating. So you can look forward to that mid-January, I want to say. We'll be at Mantic headquarters. I've got all new cameras, which should be lovely, clear images from both ends of the table. So that should be very exciting. Commentary on Masters, myself and the lovely Rich Luke is going to be my wingman. We're going to be dual commentary at that event. Really, really high quality play there. Should be a really good time. I hope you enjoyed this. This was my last Kings of Men battle report for quite some time. The last one with them, I played them for a whole year. Really enjoyed them. I feel I got to a place with them. I can play them really well. And I've got a list that I really am comfortable with. Time to move on to something new. So I'm playing Twilightkin now because they've been nerfed, so I could be the special flower. We've got some battle reports coming up. So we've got a live battle report against Cybrand. And then I have got Florence is coming to visit, and we might film that as well, so we'll see. And then we've got some tournaments in January, February. Already got a few booked in. So, good times. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this tournament report in 3 parts, and we'll see you next time on Death by Dragons.